when Traoré rejected the UN script. For years, world leaders have entered the United Nations Hall and repeated the same old lines: peace, cooperation, global order. But when Captain Ibrahim Traoré of Burkina Faso took the microphone, the room fell silent. Because this time, it wasn't another speech written in Washington or Paris. It was a message straight from the heart of Africa. Traoré looked at the delegates, presidents, diplomats, and billionaires, and said what no one else dared to say. He said, "You speak of peace, yet you create wars. You speak of democracy, yet you control nations. You speak of human rights, yet you treat Africa like a colony." The hall grew tense. Cameras flashed. For the first time, a young African leader was rejecting the UN script, the polite, rehearsed language that hides global hypocrisy. Traoré wasn't reading from a teleprompter. He was reading from history, from centuries of lies, broken promises, and Western interference. He spoke for those who have no voice, for the miners, the farmers, and the forgotten children of the Sahel. He said, "We don't need lectures from those who built their empires on our suffering. We don't need charity. We need fairness." That was not a complaint. It was a declaration. Washington didn't like it. The U.S. delegation sat frozen, uncomfortable, because Traoré's words exposed their weakness. He said Africa doesn't want to be part of America's endless wars or Europe's economic games. He said, "If this is your idea of world order, then Africa will build its own." And that's what shocked the world. A bold refusal in front of the very institution that claims to represent it. Traoré wasn't afraid of sanctions or speeches. He was challenging the system itself. He reminded the UN that Africa's blood built the modern world, the gold, the oil, the diamonds, the labor, all taken in the name of civilization. He said it's time for a new civilization, one where Africa writes its own destiny, not dictated by Washington or Paris. His speech was short but electric. It wasn't just a moment, it was a movement. After that day, thousands of young Africans saw a new symbol of pride, a new face of leadership, someone who didn't bow, didn't smile for cameras, and didn't read from a Western script. The United Nations calls itself a house of peace, but Traoré showed it's a stage of power, and that day he turned that stage into Africa's podium. Traoré's rejection of the UN script was not just political, it was historical. Because every empire begins to fall the moment the oppressed start to speak without fear. And that's what happened that day. Africa spoke, and the world listened.